play and call it work. MiniWarGaming's Warhammer 40k Battle Reports!
MiniWarGamer Dave here from MiniWarGaming.com, here with Luka. Welcome, Wargamers, to the new Space Wolves review. This video, we're going to go over the top 10 major changes in the Codex. We're also going to be going over all of the minute changes, which is over 100 and...
Oh, geez, yeah.
It's like about 150. It's around there.
A lot of those are points.
Many points. And so we're going to go over the top 10 major changes first, the ones that are the biggest deals of the Codex. And then we'll go over Warlord traits, stratagems, and psychic abilities, which are new, the new ones in that. And then we'll go over the meat of each unit and go over the changes in each one, kind of comb over every detail for the Space Wolves players who want to know every minute detail of every little change, because there is certain importance placed on different units. I may have a certain love for a certain type of unit, and someone else might have a different love for a different type of unit, which is why we don't discriminate the units at all, and we go over every single one. Following this review video in the MiniWarGaming Vault, which you can access by clicking on the link below, will be a battle report where we'll be showing the new Space Wolves.
Yeah, easy enough.
Probably 1,500 point army.
Like a good intro game, right?
It's a good intro game. That will be in the MiniWarGaming Vault, and that will be following this review video that you're watching right now on YouTube. So let's jump into the top 10 major changes in the new Space Wolves.
What do we got at number one?
Number one is access to Hunters Unleashed. When you are a Battle-Forged army, it is a new ability that you gain, which is Space Wolf specific. Yep. And what does it do? What does it give you?
So this is part of the Armies of Azaheim. Obviously, you get the Defenders of Humanity, which is your objective secured. Everyone has access to that, but here it is in the book. Hunters Unleashed is huge for the Space Wolves. I was curious for a while. I couldn't think of what they would get. I'm like, what will Space Wolves get? Blood Angels are +1 to wound when they charge, word charge, all of that. Space Wolves are +1 to hit.
+1 to hit.
So all of a sudden, you start looking at your Thunderhammers, your Power Fists. Can you imagine a squad of all Wolfen with Thunderhammer Storm Shields and they just hit on 3s when they charge? Or word charge?
Or, yeah, so you have to be charged or you are charged.
Or heroically intervene with the character.
Okay.
And the next biggest thing as well, your characters, when they heroically intervene, it's not 3 inches, it is 6.
6 inches,
So
okay.
it doubled. The characters are obviously looking for glory to, I guess, lengthen their saga.
That's right. They want to sing their songs of sagas.
And yeah, they can heroically intervene 6 inches instead of the normal 3. Yeah. That is insane.
That's awesome.
That is going to catch your opponents off guard. Probably not forever until they get used to it, but it's going to happen a lot, especially if you don't tell them. It's like, oh yeah, I can heroically intervene 6 inches now.
We're gonna see a lot more modeling with heavier weapons, is my guess.
Yeah, for sure. You're going to see a lot more Power Fists, a lot more Thunderhammers.
I think so.
Maybe, just maybe, Terminators with Power Fists can be good in Space Wolves. Maybe.
They are unleashed as hunters, so there it is.
I only say maybe because Terminators are a little pricey.
Yes. So that is the number one major change right there.
Right.
So number two, what we have right now is there is 14 of 27 new Space Wolf specific stratagems.
And that doesn't include True Grit or Cunning of the Wolf, because everyone knows about those. Those are from Chapter Approved. They're old, they're boring. But we have, what is it, 14 new ones?
14 new ones, yeah.
And that includes all of the, other than that, then there'd be 11 of the generic Space Marine ones, like Orbital Bombardment, Relics, stuff like that.
That's included in the rest. They're automatically in there.
The first one is Overwhelming Impetuosity? Impetuosity?
Impetuosity.
I can't.
Impetuosity.
I can't say. I can't say. Use this stratagem at the start of your fight phase. Select a Bloodclaw unit from your army that successfully charged this turn and is within 1 inch of an enemy unit with a higher power rating. Now you're going to notice in these stratagems, and maybe in the new Codex is coming out, that they're going to reference power rating a lot.
Yeah,
I think
that's something I've noticed.
It's maybe their way of trying to make power rating more relevant, because a lot of people do still play points.
Yes.
Power rating is an easy way of defining what is a more powerful unit than another unit. So they use that here. You can reroll all failed hit rolls for the Bloodclaw units attacking that target enemy unit.
That's
if
right.
it has higher power rating.
So it's a Bloodclaws specific one.
Yeah. So if you're a huge fan of Bloodclaws, there you go. Because almost everything in the game is going to be higher power rating than Bloodclaws. And if it's not, they're probably already going to kill whatever it is.
That's right.
So that's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah. So the second one here that we have that's new, it's Cloaked by the Storm. So you use this stratagem in your psychic phase. So choose a rune priest from your army that successfully manifests the psychic power in this phase. Your opponent must subtract 1 from all hit rolls for ranged attacks that target friendly Space Wolves units within 6 inches of this model until the beginning of your next psychic phase.
So you have your Rune Priest in the middle. He casts his psychic power, and yep, he casts his psychic power, and there's just -1 to hit everything within 6 of him. Now you're probably thinking, holy crap, that's really powerful. It is. It is really powerful, but when you look at the cost on it,
it's 3 command points. Yeah,
yes.
it's
it's pricey.
maybe it's appropriately priced there. I think
It could be, yeah, because you could bunch a lot around that. You could have long fangs around this Rune Priest. You could have just a tank gun line, even if you're playing like an iron. I can't remember what the term is when you're all tanks. Iron Company, Iron something, whatever. Mobile tanks. When you have a lot of tanks.
That's a good app, by the way. Yeah. Mobile Strike.
Oh, that is an app. That is right. There's an app.
-1
to hit everything around him for 3 command points. That is all he has to do is choose a Rune Priest from your army, manifest the psychic power of this phase.
Yeah,
that's pretty easy. Since all the Rune Priests, we'll get into them, are a little bit better because they all know 2 psychic powers out of the 6. So you have a little more options there as well. But we'll get to that when we get to the bulk of the units, and there's a lot.
there's just a whole ton. So just like sit back and relax, and if you're painting, continue painting.
Yeah,
if you're listening, continue listening. Yeah, there's a lot. Okay, so next one, Trophies of Fenris. It's either 1 command point or 3 command point.
That's the one where you get extra relics. So it's new because it's got the name, but
right. So this is renamed.
Yep. This doesn't count towards the 14 we mentioned.
Okay, so I'm not even going to mention that because it's not new. It's just renamed, so it kind of threw me off.
And then this is the one that was in chapter proof.
Chapter proof, yeah, Cutting on the Wolf. So all right, so we're going to another one. Mentor's Guidance. Here we go.
This one's interesting.
So use this stratagem in your shooting phase or in the fight phase. Choose a Space Wolves character, other than a Wolf Priest. Yep. Within 6 inches of a Wolf Priest from your army, you can reroll all failed wound rolls for that character in this phase.
Okay, now this is weird because you have to have a character near a Wolf Priest. It's 1 command point, and characters don't do as much damage as they do anymore. As they used to in previous editions, I should say. Rerolling all failed wound rolls for, I guess, a named character that could potentially have a lot of attacks, or maybe like even Bjorn kind of falls into that category because he's a Space Wolf character. I guess he already rerolls his failed wound rolls with True Claw, though. I'm trying to think of a way to really break this one. I think it's just a pretty generic stratagem that it's nice to have access to.
It's there, it's in the book, it's an option.
Yeah.
I personally probably won't be using that one.
Right.
That's one that I won't remember to use.
No, I also agree. I don't see myself going into a game hoping to use Mentor's Guidance.
I'm going to build my army around Mentor's Guidance. No, I don't think it's going to happen.
If you're knowledgeable and you remember that, kudos to you, but that's not going to be an easy one to remember.
So this one we'll skip.
Okay, yeah.
We'll explain it after.
We'll talk about this one last, because this is probably the coolest one.
Yeah, it's called Lone Wolf, and that's all you need to know until we get back to it. All right, so this one here.
Chooser of the Slain? Use this stratagem immediately after your opponent sets up a unit that is arriving on the battlefield as reinforcements and is visible to a Rune Priest from your army. Now, that could be anywhere on the table. As long as your Rune Priest can see him, you can use this stratagem. A single unit within 6 inches of said Rune Priest can immediately shoot at the enemy unit as if it were the shooting phase, but you must subtract 1. Now, the other Space Marine chapters have a stratagem as Aspect Scan, similar to that, but it's limited because you have to be within 12 inches of whatever you want to shoot. So say you're playing Chaos and you drop down Terminators near my guys. If you stay more than 12 inches away from them, I can't shoot you. But this one, if the Rune Priest sees you, then you can get shot. So it's a little bit more wide-ranging. You just have to have your Rune Priest near something that you'd want to shoot.
Yeah.
Long Fangs. I think it is. You can do dreadnoughts. You could do like anything. Like it's just a unit.
That's what it says.
Yeah, a single friendly unit within 6 of the Rune Priest can shoot. So it's more wide-ranging. It can actually reach the entire table, which is nice.
Yeah.
But you also have to have a unit following your Rune Priest around.
Yeah. Well, you know that's why he's there. He's there to bolster those around him.
And you know what? I'm happy to see this because I was kind of getting tired of the similar kind of stratagems that you see in all the Space Marine books. It's such a minor change, but it makes it play so much differently.
Yeah, for sure. It gives it a different purpose to them all.
Right. And I'm glad to see that.
All right, so Laugh in the Face of Death for 1 command point. Use this stratagem in the fight phase. Choose a Space Wolves infantry, biker, or cavalry unit from your army that is affected by an enemy unit's ability that modifies their leadership. You can re-roll all failed hit rolls for that Space Wolves unit in this phase.
Again, this is one of those really obscure ones that might not come up a lot. Because not only do you have to remember this, your opponent has to remember that he has a unit that reduces or modifies your leadership. Because that's one of the rules I find that most people don't remember.
Yeah.
Like my Necron Flayed ones reduce your leadership by 1.
Right. So
So
I can see how this wouldn't really be used too much.
right, but it's so powerful. You can reroll all failed hit rolls. It's so good. It's 1 command point to reroll all failed hit rolls.
Yeah, it's a big deal. Yeah.
Because that covers everything, almost everything in the book other than dreadnoughts. Oh, infantry, biker, and cavalry. So
Yeah.
Thunderwolf cavalry.
It covers a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a matter of remembering. Got a 5-second memory. I'll put a reminder on my phone.
Yeah. Laugh in the face of death. Try and use it every game.
Overwhelming Savagery. So that's the next one for 1 command point. Use this stratagem in the fight phase. Choose a unit of Thunderwolf Cavalry from your army. You can reroll wound rolls of 1 for that unit in this phase.
Yep. So that's only really pertinent to Thunderwolf cavalry, I think.
Which is not bad
It's 1 command point.
for them.
I think a lot of people in this edition run their Thunderwolf cavalry with thrust swords, because that kind of matches with the. It makes them keen on killing one type of thing very well. In the previous editions, you wanted to run Thunderhammers. With this stratagem, it makes Thunderhammers a little bit better because they're going to be wounding on 2s a lot of the time with Thunderhammers. So rerolling 1s to wound.
Yeah.
It is wound, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm like, wait, it better be wound. So Thunderhammer cavalry, Thunderwolf cavalry is a little bit better with that. But that might be the only one. Even with frost swords, when they're strength 5, wounding on 3s most of the time, rerolling 1s, also really good. So you're probably going to be using this one a ton. If you're a Thunderwolf cavalry player, that's the stratagem for you. You're going to be using it all the time. And it's simple. There's not much more explanation to that.
Or if you aren't, then you might be motivated to bring Thunderwolves.
This is true.
So that you can utilize that stratagem.
If you needed that one more, maybe you weren't a huge fan of Thunderwolves and you just needed that one more little reason to push you to go get Thunderwolves, well, there you go.
I'm sure it exists. I don't know if I've met someone, a Space Wolf player, who
doesn't.
like
I know.
Thunderwolves. But maybe who don't bring them too often, but just doesn't like them, like refuses to bring them. I don't know if I've ever actually met a player.
I've met one person, and I'm not going to throw names out because it's someone who works here. They hate Wolfen and they hate Thunderwolves. They miss Space Wolves.
Oh, okay, I know. I've had discussions with said individual.
So this wouldn't make them buy Thunderwolf.
No, I don't think anything would.
No, I don't think
Even
anything.
bribery would not work.
No, not at all.
All right, Howl of the Great Pack, also new. This is 2 command points. Use this stratagem at the beginning of the morale phase. Choose a Wolf Lord from your army. Friendly Space Wolves units within 12 inches of the model automatically pass morale tests in this phase, and your opponent must add 1 to morale tests taken by enemy units within 12 inches of that model in this phase.
Again, very situational. Is it game breaking? No. Is it nice to have? Sure.
Yes.
It's not the worst. And hey, look, one nice thing too. Spaceful players, you got Wolf Lords now. You got Wolf Lord data. What was it called? The profile.
Data sheet.
Data sheet. You got Wolf Lord data sheets now
Yes.
for everything.
That's true. That's something that's included. That's not one of the top 10 things.
And we'll get into it. But yeah, Howl of the Great Pack, it's okay.
So I think I'll say this. Where is the next one?
It is this one.
Okay, so let's say this one, and then we'll skip the other ones.
Okay.
Okay, so
Seeking a Saga is the next new one. Use this stratagem at the beginning of the fight phase. Choose a Space Wolf character from your army that is within 1 inch of an enemy unit with a greater power rating, again with the power rating, than the character. You can reroll failed wound rolls for attacks made by that character. So obviously your Space Wolf character is looking to make a name for himself.
that's right.
Right? Or he's just looking to further enforce his name.
One would say he's seeking a saga.
One would say he is seeking a saga.
That's
He's
right.
going around, he's rerolling failed wound rolls against things that have a higher power rating than him, which is again going to be most things, because I'm pretty sure is it a character or is it a Space Wolf character?
This is a character, yeah.
Most characters on foot, they're not very expensive in power rating, like 4 to 6. Some are 8, but
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to be, if you're hitting vehicles like Land Raiders, big monsters, big units of guys, then yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
It's only 1 command point.
You know, I think we do need to mention this one, actually.
Oh, the Wolf's Eye?
Yeah.
Go by all means.
So this is for 1 command
Yes.
point, and it's a Long Fang specific one. So use the stratagem in your shooting phase when a unit of Long Fangs from your army is chosen to make its attacks, and you can reroll either failed hit or failed wound rolls for that unit for this phase.
Probably the most powerful.
So yeah,
On paper.
I have to say this because if you're bringing Long Fangs, most likely in the course of the game you're going to be using that stratagem at least once, if not every phase.
Exactly.
That you could use it.
This falls in line with what we mentioned earlier. You're making a Space Wolf list. This is a stratagem you can make a list around.
That's right.
Yeah. That's how powerful it is.
Yeah, so I think we'll be seeing that a lot.
You can bring a maximum squad of Long Fangs with whatever heavy weapon you want. They already reroll 1s in shooting.
That's right.
So you do not need to use it for shooting at all.
No.
In any means. And they can reroll all failed wound rolls. That's
Yeah.
pretty powerful. That kind of goes in line with extermination protocols for the Necrons, where for 1 command point, specifically destroyers get to reroll all failed hit and wound rolls. but this is a next runner-up.
Yeah.
For Space Marines, that's great.
This is, yeah, it's fantastic, absolutely. So one to bring for sure.
There's one. This one does deserve honorable mentions for sure. Keen senses. This also works very well with Long Fangs. Granted, it could work with anything in the book, but specifically Long Fangs. Use a stratagem in your shooting phase. Choose a Space Wolf unit from your army. They do not suffer any penalties to hit in this phase. It's not just, oh, it's only the shooting
one
phase.
command point for that.
Yeah.
Keen senses, yeah. That's a big deal.
You're playing Eldar.
Yeah, Eldar trickery. There you go. Here, it's
No
harder for you to
nonsense.
hit.
A Long Fang. Here's an entire squad of Long Fangs with all heavy bolters. Just gonna gun down the Eldar unit, no problem. That's really effective.
Yeah, that's actually, yeah, you're right. There's a Emperor's Shield, not Emperor's Shield, but the Emperor's Executioners.
They hate thousands.
It's a 1,000-ton specific one.
What a surprise.
Yeah, it really should be included. There's also a Psyker specific one, Living Storm, and that's good.
That is it for the stratagems. That I think the most we forgot Lone Wolf. We kind of teased them on the Lone Wolf.
Okay, so yeah, we said we should probably mention it. Seeing as that we said we're going to mention it. Okay, so this is actually one of the things that was one of the top 10 things that was mentioned here, and that is that there is no more Lone Wolves. There's no more Lone Wolf data sheet in the unit roster here.
No, not in this codex.
Not in this codex.
Granted, it still exists in the index.
It does.
Which means you can still bring it.
Still bring it, but it's not here in the new codex.
No.
But there is a stratagem which states...
By all means, this one's you were most excited for this one.
Okay, use the stratagem at the end of any phase if there is a Space Wolves infantry unit from your army other than a character, a servitor, or a wolfen, that has been reduced to a single model. That model's wounds characteristic is increased by 2, and it gains 2 wounds. It gains the character keyword, and you can re-roll failed hit and wound rolls for it for the remainder of the game.
Rest of the game.
That's 1 command point.
1 command point. You can have so many Lone Wolves on the table, and you don't have to pay for it. Granted, you could just make your own Lone Wolves from the index and throw them on the table, and still, if you really liked having your Lone Wolves,
it's not as much fun.
No, now you make your Lone
Now
Wolves.
you make them. Yeah, that's awesome.
This is narrative. This is
very,
beautiful.
I love it.
That's what Space Wolves do. That's how a Lone Wolf is made. Now you get to make your own Lone Wolves with stratagems. That's the coolest one in the book
is
for
awesome.
sure.
You know what? I think in my
You can
mind,
make an army around this one.
That's right. You make a whole army. It's like, okay, here's a bunch of squads. Okay, reduce them all to 1, please.
Please kill me. I want Lone Wolves.
And here's the cool thing about this is that I totally forgot what I was going to say. I was so excited. Okay, so Lone Wolves. What was I going to say?
The thing that comes to my head is that you get to pick and choose what dies in a unit.
Okay.
So you always have the coolest thing left alive.
So I think, all right, this is what I was going to say. So in my mind, my goal would be to create a Lone Wolf, and if I win or lose, it doesn't matter. I've won if I've done that.
Right, okay. So you have your Terminator squad, and they're all Thunderhammer Storm Shields, and then one's left, and he becomes a Lone Wolf, and he rerolls all his failed hit and wound rolls, and he gets to +1 to hit when he charges, and he's so good.
Yeah, that's amazing. And you know, the fact that it's increased by 2 for the wound factor, so if he's already a Terminator, then it's even better, right? If he's left alive and not wounded already.
Well, you could even I'm even thinking just a Grey Hunter with a plasma gun who rerolls all his failed hit and wound rolls for the rest of the game.
That's right.
Just that one guy who's got 3 wounds as a character with a plasma gun now, and he's pretty good.
I love it. I love it.
That is a really good stratagem. Now, granted, it's sad that in the future of the game, you can expect that the Lone Wolves probably won't. They could always bring the Lone Wolf back in data sheet, but for now, the way it looks like they're going is this is how you make Lone Wolves now.
Which, you know what, I'm totally fine with.
This is how, I agree. I think that is really cool, and it's a really fun stratagem too.
Oh, totally fun.
An army needs fun stratagems, and some of these were okay, but that is just straight fun.
Yeah, yeah, that's straight up fun, and there's no like gaming that. It's just fun factor.
Yeah, and they get the character keyword too, so they're safe.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. We almost forgot about that.
We did. We were about to skip it, and it's like a good thing you remembered because we would have remembered. I had a bunch of angry people. Okay, so here we go. Number 3 out of the 10 of the newest new things. So we have 5 new Warlord traits. So Saga of the Warrior Born
is the old one from Chapter Approved.
It's there.
We got Saga of the Beast Slayer, number 2. You can add 1 to wound rolls for your Warlord's attacks when they target monsters or vehicles. Okay. It's not bad. It's probably not a must bring. If you're randomizing and you get that, you wouldn't be upset because more often than not, there's probably going to be vehicles over monsters. But
yeah, I mean, yeah, you're going to have vehicles in the very least, probably.
The next one, Saga of the Hunter. You can add 2 to saving throws made for your Warlord when you receive the benefit of cover instead of 1. In addition, your Warlord can advance and charge in the same turn.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. That's very utility. There's a lot of use there.
I'm thinking of a guy with, because it's +2 to your saving throws, right? So when you think
In cover, when you're in cover.
Yeah, think of a Wolflord
Yeah.
with the jump pack, with a Thunderhammer and Storm Shield,
Yeah.
who just jumps from cover to cover.
Yeah.
He's got a 2-up invulnerable save because he's got a Storm Shield. Yeah, he can advance and charge. He moves 12, he can advance and charge. He's super fast, super mobile.
Yeah.
That's a really good Warlord trait for any Wolflord with a jump pack.
Absolutely.
That is a really powerful one.
That's good. And you know what? For that's one of those Warlord traits where he will get use of it every game.
Exactly.
Yeah, some of them it's like, okay, you might get use of it, you might not.
Yep.
This one, you will get use of it.
And he can be right out front too. Like, it doesn't matter if you shoot the character, he's got a 2-up invulnerable save. What are you gonna, a smite would get him though, so you have to be careful of that.
That's true.
Be mindful.
I mean, there's always that, right? All right, Saga of the Bear, increase your Warlord's wounds characteristic by 1.
That's kind of boring.
It is not that good.
No, but that's literally all it is. You just get +1 to your wound. Okay,
He's
whatever.
a bear.
He's a bear.
Saga of Majesty, friendly Space Wolves units within 12 inches of your Warlord do not have to take morale tests. Again, that's like, okay.
That's sorry.
It's
You can
okay.
spend 2 command points to get that effect with the Howl of the Wolflord or whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, or you just get it for free
Or you
if
get it
it's
for
his
free.
Warlord trait.
Exactly.
But, yeah.
Last one we have Saga of the Wolfkin. Your Wolflord. Yeah, your Warlord, not Wolflord. Sorry, and models and friendly units of Wolfen, Space Wolf Beasts, and Space Wolf Cavalry. Wolfen. I can't say wolf.
Ooh.
Leave me alone.
Really? Oh, it's a thing?
Yeah.
I thought I didn't know.
Wolfen. Wolfen. Wolf, like a dog woofs.
I didn't know that was a thing. Okay.
Within 6 inches of him, when they are chosen to fight in the fight phase, can make 1 additional attack on a turn in which they made a successful charge. In addition, you do not need to take morale tests for these units while they're within 6 inches of your Warlord.
Okay. Yeah.
I still think I really like Saga of the Hunter. If I had to pick
That's
a
my
favorite,
favorite,
I had to
yeah.
pick a favorite, it's that one, just because I really like that loadout on a Wolflord
Yeah.
with a jump pack and
For
Thunderhammer.
sure. Absolutely.
And he
hands down.
can deep strike into cover, and it's just, he's a character, he's not going to get shot at, but he's got that advancing and charging. He's so fast.
Yeah, that's my favorite one for sure.
And of course, you have your named characters and Warlord traits. They have to take these ones.
Yeah.
We'll power through the list. We got Aryak Rockfist, Saga of the Bear, +1 wound.
Yep.
Bjorn the Fell-Handed is Saga of Majesty, which allows him to
No
auto-passing
test.
morale. That's
Yeah,
right.
for 12 inches.
Canis Wolfborn, Saga of the Wolfkin, which makes sense. He also gives other wolves +1 attack. The Thunderwolf Cavalry +1 attack on the wolves.
When they charge you.
Herald Deathwolf, also the same one. He's also on a Thunderwolf, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Grom Dragon Gaze. I've never actually seen that model on the table, but he gets Saga of the Warriorborn, where he always fights first.
Cool.
We have Logan Grimnar, Saga of Majesty. So,
Yeah.
much like Bjorn, all Space Wolves are within 12 of him, auto-pass morale. Niall Stormcaller, Saga of Majesty, same thing, Ancient Warrior.
Yeah.
Ragnar Blackmane, Saga of the Warriorborn, always fights first.
Yep.
Ulrich the Slayer, Saga of the Beast Slayer, he likes to fight big things,
He does.
which makes sense, because he also has another rule built in where he kills something, I think you get +1 to wound for all units within range of him if he kills a monster or a vehicle.
Yeah.
I think it's something like that.
Something like that.
He's Ulrich the Slayer.
I didn't bring him enough to actually remember offhand. But
See, I brought him to a game once accidentally when I was learning Space Wolves because I thought he was a random wolf priest.
Oh, really?
I didn't know it was Ulrich the Slayer.
Oh, okay.
And here I am,
Yeah.
looking like a fool. But now I know.
That's good. That's good that...
But that's it for the Warlord traits. Nothing crazy powerful, but you shouldn't expect that from a Warlord trait. anyways.
No. Because if there was, then not everyone would choose that one all the time.
And that's
yeah.
not good.
I think it's
don't
more
like
for narrative flavor for the Warlord traits.
that. Exactly.
If one remembers to actually roll them, because a lot of times I actually forget to roll the Warlord traits.
Yeah.
And then when I do remember to roll them, I forget that he has it a lot of times.
Warlord trait is probably the most forgotten thing in the game.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Unless you have a really specific one. Like, I always take the same one on my death card. I never forget that one. It's awesome.
Number 4.
Relics of the Fang.
So we got 5 new relics. There's 6 relics here in total.
Yep.
Kraken Bone Sword has been ported over from
Chapter approved.
Chapter
yeah.
Approved. Yep.
Welcome back.
And
It's pretty lackluster.
now we have the Armor of Russ.
Which I think is pretty powerful. It's a long one here. So the model has a 4-up invulnerable save. You expect that on a lot of your characters anyways. In addition, at the start of the fight phase, choose an enemy unit within 1 inch of this model. That unit cannot be chosen to fight in the fight phase until all other units able to fight have done so. If the target unit has an ability that allows it to fight first in the fight phase, it instead fights as if it didn't have that ability. If both players have units that cannot fight until all other units have done so, then alternate choosing which of those units to fight with, starting with the player whose turn is taking place. So it's a lot of like, it's a lot of like, this is how the rule works, and this is how it works with all the weird interactions.
Right, this is how it works, and if this rule breaks the rule, then this is how it works. If
Right.
it breaks the rule, and this one also breaks the rule, this is how it works.
The easiest thing here is that whatever is within range of the character with the Armor of Russ fights last.
There you go.
And that kind of goes in
default.
tow with the 30k Armor of Russ, where he kind of gives guys, well, I guess not initiative, but like -1 to hit Russ.
Yeah.
That's his 30k rule.
Yeah.
Regardless, the way you look at this is you can pick and choose all of your fights. So the Space Wolves are great at, well, especially with that relic. You take your, so you have that captain with Jump Pack, Thunderhammer, Storm Shield. He's got that relic.
Yep.
So he goes jumping around, and he's got maybe a squad of whatever, Skyclaws with him, or veterans with jump packs.
Veterans, yeah.
Or sorry, Wolfguard with jump packs.
Wolfguard.
With jump packs, and they're all following around, and that could be a kill squad because they would all charge. He would charge something, and then they would charge with him, and that thing will always fight last. All of your guys will always fight first. Technically, they're charging, they're fighting first anyways. Or he can support other units that he's charging into, but it's just this one unit that goes around, always fighting first. I like it.
That's good.
And they all +1 to hit when they charge. Right?
And there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just a neat little unit that runs around. I mean, granted, you have to have access to all these models to do these kind of things, I want to say, but I like where you can go with that armor.
Good excuse for conversion.
Yep.
If not.
I love the captain with jump pack.
Black Death.
That sounds scary.
It is actually, yeah. Okay. Next one is Black Death. Model with Frost Axe only. Black Death replaces the bear's Frost Axe and has the following profile. Let's see. +2 strength, -2 AP, and 1 damage.
That's pretty standard for a... Oh, wait, no, yeah. But each time it fights, it can make T3 additional attacks with this weapon. I'm trying to listen to it. I'm like, Black Death, that doesn't sound very... Is it a Frost Axe or a Power Axe replacement? Frost Axe.
Frost Axe.
That's weird. Yeah. Frost Axe is +3... No, it is only +1 strength. Okay, so it is a Frost Axe that makes D3 extra attacks.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But the roll of a 6 for frost weapons.
Oh, no, that's only the guns that do it. Where they do a mortal wound. If they're not slain.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's just thinking.
All the frost weapons are +1 strength over their normal.
Yeah.
So a normal axe is only +1, I think. Oh, it is. Yeah, +1, -2, 1 damage. This one only gets D3 attacks. It sounds a lot scarier than it is.
Yeah. Your Canadian just came out there.
What?
I appreciate that.
Well, what'd I say?
You said A.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I say it every night. It's whatever. Squeaks out every
You're
night.
Canadian. It's okay.
Yeah. What can I say? Helm of Durfast. Who's Durfast?
Durfast is, you can re-roll failed hit rolls for this model's ranged attacks.
Who is Durfast?
In addition, enemy units never gain any bonus to their saving throws for being in cover for attacks made by this model.
Okay. That's okay. It's a helmet that lets you ignore cover. So you put on this fancy helmet, and you get the blessing of Durfast, whoever that may be, and he lets you ignore cover. I'm trying to think of a character with a good range weapon. You got a guy with a master-crafted bolter who ignores cover. That's like best case scenario. A combi weapon.
It's not. It's very narrative.
Yeah.
This is very narrative, which is fantastic. But no, it's not like this overpowered.
For power level, no. It's
like the Armor of Rust, where you always attack first. Like
Yeah.
that's something that you know that you can benefit from all the time. Whereas this is like, okay.
Here's my bull pistol, I ignore your cover.
That's right. Like it doesn't sound like it's as good, unless there's something glaringly obvious in our face, where there's a certain HQ character that has an awesome weapon that we're forgetting about.
I'm trying to think of like.
I don't think so.
What is like? There's Warlord. What can a Warlord take other than a combi weapon? You can take like a combi melta, and you can ignore cover, and you can reroll failed hit rolls with it.
Right.
But that's like combi plasma.
Or unless you can take Bjorn as your warlord, and he has a relic, which you can't.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I
was trying to think of name characters, and I'm like, they can't even take this.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess.
Or yeah, he could throw his hammer, but he can't take the relic.
That's right, because it's a different one.
He puts his helmet on. Okay, well, whatever. We got the Wolfenstorm. You can make one additional attack from models in friendly Space Wolf infantry, biker, and cavalry units that are within 3 inches of the bearer when they make their attacks in the fight phase. Units of Wolfen are not affected, of course, nor are units that made a charge while within range of the Curse of the Wolfen Hunt ability earlier in the turn. In addition, a unit cannot be affected by both Curse of the Wolfen Kill and the Wolfenstone in the fight phase. Okay, so what this is trying to say is, this is Curse of the Wolfen, or what, is it Curse of the Wolfen Kill? Yeah, Curse of the Wolfen Kill, built into a relic. It gives things +1 attack around it, but it can't do that if they're benefiting from Curse of the Wolfen Kill, or if they are benefiting from Curse of the Wolfen Hunt. It is so blatant that it's supposed to be Curse of the Wolfen Kill, built into a relic. So if you don't own any Wolfen, but you really like Curse of the Wolfen Kill, and you really like Blood Claws, and is it Bikers too? Oh, sure, you like your Fast Claws, Swift Claws, Fast Claws.
They're fast.
Thunderwolf Cavalry. The Wolfenstone is really good for that, giving them all +1 attack. They're all +1 to hit when they charge. It's just a lot of synergistic items here.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Or you could just not have them around Wolfen.
You could also do that. You could have your Wolfen flank, and he goes up the center. That's as
right.
like the pseudo Wolfen.
Or you can have them both together, and then there's redundancy, and you lose your abilities, and it's wasted.
Yeah, you could also do
Which
that.
you don't want to do that, right?
No.
Although one might forget and get overzealous, go and forget that, it gets so much fun with the bloodshed. But, that doesn't ever happen, right?
That never happens. We got Frost Fury.
Frost Fury, model with the Stormbolter only. Frost Fury.
Stormbolter upgrade.
Yeah, he replaces the Bear's Stormbolter and has a following profile. Let's see, 24-inch range, Assault 4, Strength 4, -1, and 2 damage. And if a model suffers any unsaved wounds with this weapon but is not slain, roll d6, and on a 4 up, the target suffers a mortal wound.
Okay, oddly enough, that is actually a good weapon. So you put it, I'm thinking you put this on a, I guess, no, because Long Fangs already reroll 1s. Say you have a Warlord that's near your artillery line in the back of vehicles, right? And he's just there to give them rerolling 1s. You give him this relic, and he's got a 24-inch range gun that shoots 4 times. It does 2 damage a shot. That could do a lot of damage. And if a model's still alive, on a 4-up, they take another mortal wound. It's actually not a terrible relic.
That's not bad.
I would say that it would go the Armor of Rust, the Wolfstone, and the Frost Fury. Or these two here, the Wolf and Stone and Armor of Rust, are they're both equally as good depending on what your list brings.
Yeah.
And then we got Frost Fury as the follow-up. It's the 3rd best relic.
There we go, number 3. And here's the thing, though. Okay, so how many relics? How many relics can you bring?
So 1, unless you spend 1 CP, then you can bring 2. You can bring 3 if you spend 3 CP.
In an armor or on a character? In an army or on one character?
1 character can take 1.
Unless you spend a command point?
No, just 1 per character.
Ever?
Ever, yeah. You can just put it on. You can put relics on multiple characters, though.
The reason why I ask is because it's been a while since I've played.
That is fair. Dave has been working at the bunker, so.
Yeah, so I couldn't remember offhand. So I was just going to say, if one were to shoot the Frost Fury while wearing the Helm of Durfast, he would be cheating and not allowed to do so.
Now, granted, one thing is, I'm pretty sure if you're playing open play, you could have both those relics. Nothing says you can in open play.
I guess anything goes. Well, you might as well put on the Armor of Rust while you're at it.
Yeah, may as well just wear all 6 relics. What does it matter?
Yeah, have stone in one hand, Kraken sword in the other.
Black Death on the back in case you need an axe instead of a sword.
That's right. Okay, so that is the relics.
Yeah, so that's one of the major changes, or one of the new additions. The next is essentially the last of the new additions that you expect with the Codex. Obviously, the Space Wolves got 3 new psychic powers added to their Tempestus discipline. You still have the 3 old ones. You have Tempest, Raz, Stormcaller, and Jaws of the World Wolf. Oddly enough, 3 really powerful psychic powers. I did not expect that from the Space Wolves when the 8th edition first came out.
Yes.
All of these are amazing. Giving cover or -1 to hit for stuff, giving yourself cover, and Jaws of the World Wolf is a hard counter to a slow army. I've lost Typhus to that spell more than once.
Really?
Yeah. You roll 2d6, and you subtract his movement of 4 from the result, and I take that many mortal wounds.
What?
That's a powerful spell.
Oh. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane.
That shows how much 8th edition Space Wolves I've played. Not much.
Well, I mean, it also depends if you brought how many times you bring Psychers, right?
Well, Bob the Great Hunter.
He's Bob the Great. That's fair. Okay.
Yeah, technically he's Njal, but
But he's Bob the Great.
He's really Bob.
But the 3 new ones, they're okay. I don't think they're better than the 3 previous ones, but here they are anyways. Living Lightning is super cool. This is probably my favorite of the 3. We'll go with this one first because you might as well. It has a warp charge value of 6. If manifested, the closest visible enemy unit within 18 suffers D3 mortal wounds, just like Smite. If that unit is destroyed as a result, the closest enemy unit within 18 of the last model from that unit also suffers D3 mortal wounds. And you keep repeating this process until everything is dead. So, okay,
that's not bad.
It's not bad. It's very situational. It might come up 1 in every 10 games.
Yeah, hopefully more, but yeah.
But it is second Smite. It's Smite at a warp charge value of 6. So you could Smite and then just do this, and then I'm trying to think of your Rune Priests. Your Rune Priests have 2 psychic powers, so they could just do, if you're too far for Jaws of the World Wolf, or I guess no, it's the same. If you don't want to use Jaws of the World Wolf, you still have Living Lightning and Smite.
That's right.
And that's up to 6 mortal wounds, at least 2d3.
At least.
Yeah, so best case scenario, you hit a squad of Tactical Marines or Chaos Space Marines.
Oh no, you don't want to hit Chaos. That's not good.
That's not good?
No.
There's 3 left in the unit, and then they take their D3 mortal wounds, and then there's another squad of 3 Chaos Space Marines right beside that unit, and then they also take 3 mortal wounds, and it just keeps arcing off.
Yes,
and for whatever reason, your opponent only has squads of 3 Chaos Space Marines left, and then you could table your opponent with Living Lightning in one go!
That would be something that I'd be very torn over, but yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what you get for bringing only 3-man squads, and it's not legal, but whatever.
Yeah, it's open play. There you go.
Exactly, it's open play. The next one, we have Murderous Hurricane.
All right, so Murderous Hurricane has a warp charge value of 5. If manifested, select a visible enemy unit within 18 inches of the psyker. Roll 1 dice for each model in that unit. The unit suffers a mortal wound for each roll of 6.
That's all it is, right?
So it's harder to get that.
Yeah.
So it's okay, narrative appropriate in some cases, right?
The way you look at it is it kills 1/6 of any unit you target it with.
Right.
So Orc Boys, you'll kill 5 to 6 Orc Boys with that spell. That's not bad. What do you think about that? That's a 30-man blob of boys.
Yeah, you should kill that, right?
Yeah. Or if you're doing that cultist, then you're killing 6 to 7 cultists.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, it's good against Horde.
Right. That's what it's meant to do. And you can kind of guess what you're playing because you take your psychic powers after you know what army you're facing.
Yeah.
Like once you see your opponent's army, then you can pick your psychic powers. Mm-hmm. So if you see Orc Boys, you might as well take Murderous Hurricane.
Living Lightning's not bad too.
Actually, yeah, Living Lightning could be pretty good too. It's just more wounds, right? More guaranteed more wounds are always nice. So this is a good addition to the Space Wolf psychic power list.
I think so.
Last one, we have Fury of the Wolf Spirits. You summon Lehman Russ's wolves, Frecky and Gary. And whenever the Psyker goes to attack, he gets to attack with Frecky and Gary as well. It gives you it's Strength 5, AP -3, 1 damage, and you get 6 attacks with it.
Yeah, so that's not bad.
Yeah, so it's warp charge value of 7 though, so it's really pricey.
It's harder to get,
but it also gives your guy 6 Strength 5 attacks
at -3 AP.
-3 AP.
Yeah, that's kind of a big deal.
He could be running around with a runic sword, or whatever. No, I guess they're all really good. I'd say runic stave.
Probably not. I mean, that might even do more damage than your actual attacks.
It would, yeah, because that could do a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I could do 6 damage. I guess, up to 6.
I think so.
And those are the 3 new psychic powers. I like Fury of the Wolf Spirits because it's cool and fluffy. I mean, poor dead wolves, but you bring them back. But Living Lightning is really good. Murderous Hurricane has its uses. But I think I still would deter to the...
Jaws of the Werewolf.
Jaws of the Werewolf, Stormcaller, and Tempest Wrath. They're all very good. A flat -1 to hit. It's unfortunate that it is so powerful because I hate that ability.
Yeah.
I hate seeing -1 to hit span.
It sucks when it happens to you.
It does suck when it happens to you, and any army that has it, I find that they often use it. Because why wouldn't you? It's so good.
It's something that you can just take. It's easy to take.
Yeah. I mean, it's specifically good if you want to play close combat Space Wolves. You have your Rune Priest who follows up, gives all your wolf a negative... Priest or... select a visible enemy within 24 until the start of your next psychic phase. Your opponent must... Yeah. So you have squad of wolf and you want -1 to hit them. There you go, Tempest Wrath.
Yeah.
Squad of 10 wolf and that are -1 to hit.
You do need to make the warp value of 6, though.
Yeah. 6 isn't the hardest, but it's harder than 5, I guess.
This is true.
Yeah.
It's also harder than 4.
Yeah. I don't even know if anything goes off on a 4.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that exists.
It probably shouldn't, because that'd be broken.
So that covers all of the new stuff that you see at the back of a book, and that covers what does that cover? 5 of our.
Yeah, we're at 5. So the other ones aren't as long. It's basically just number 6 is there is a new unit that you can get in the book, and that is the Wolf and Dreadnought.
Yes. So the rumors are true. It exists.
It definitely does exist.
So the Wolf and Dreadnought has rules.
We're not going to go over them though.
Yes.
Not in this video.
We have a second video to go up with this.
So for that one specifically, because it's a brand new unit, it has its own data sheet, we're actually going to do a specific video for that and do a review of that, and then we're going to do a mini battle or who would win with that.
Like what can it do? What can it take?
That's what.
What is it meant to do?
That's that one specifically. Yeah. So watch out for that, or stay tuned for that. Oh, watch out! Yeah, watch out for the Wolf and Dreadnought coming for you. It's
supposed to be a take on Murder Fang, right? So you have your named Wolf and Dreadnought. Now you just have access to Wolf and Dreadnoughts.
That's right. Yeah.
And you can check out the other video for all of its stats and all of that. The next one up, what do we have?
So we have the Great Company Champion.
So it might not be new, but I'm not familiar with it. I'm trying to find it here actually. I think it's on this.
We didn't find it in the index.
Yeah. I'm curious what this is. It's a new. It's not like it's an ancient. It's. What I assumed it to be was like a replacement for the Lone Wolf data sheet, but it has nothing to do with that either.
It has nothing to do with Lone Wolf. Yeah.
No rules that are similar. The war gear is not similar.
The points aren't even close.
Yep, I don't know. Like it's
a Great Company Champion. It's its own thing.
Yeah, it's a guy on foot. He's wearing power armor. He hits on 2s in close combat, shoots on 3s, strength 4, toughness 4, 4 wounds, 3 attacks, 8 leadership, move 6. He's got a stock loadout. He can only ever take this stuff. He's got a mastercrafted power sword, a bolt pistol, and like frag and crack grenades. He's almost like a lieutenant, in fact, but he doesn't actually have the lieutenant rule. He's got Honor the Dead. This model must make a heroic intervention if it is able to do so, which is now 6 inches for Space Wolves. In addition, you can reroll failed hit rolls from models in the fight phase when they target a character. Now, granted, the Mastercrafted Power Sword is good. It does 2 damage to swing, -3 AP, and strength 4 because it's a strength user. But what is this model? I don't. Please, actually, you know what? Leave a comment below if you know where this data slate is coming from. What is it?
Data sheet.
Data sheet.
Sheets of data.
Sheet of data.
That's how I remember it.
If you know where this is coming from, leave a comment below because I'm stumped. I usually have pretty good knowledge of where all this stuff comes from, and I have no idea. Is this just something new that Space will specifically get, or is this something else?
I'm gonna guess on that because I've never heard of this either. So that's my guess. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah,
It's a new unit for the Codex.
Yeah, that's one of the new biggest changes to it. I've never seen where that. I have no idea what that is. It's good though.
Yeah,
it's super cheap. You just have this like support character running around.
Yeah, and
killing other characters.
And
he's almost like the Emperor's champion, but he's a great company champion instead.
He is a great company champion.
I guess the closest thing that I could recognize him to is like the Emperor's champion from the Black Templar.
Right.
But this is a Space Wolf, great company champion.
You know, it's actually too bad he doesn't come in a unit of more models because then he could become a lone wolf.
That's what I was thinking too, because him as a lone wolf would be really cool. Rerolling all failed hit and wound rolls.
But it'd be kind of stacked because you know you can only really have one. It's a single model, right? So you can't have it. But anyway, so number 8 is the axing of lone wolves and adding them via stratagem, which we've mentioned already.
We mentioned that one, so that was the 8th one that we had on the list.
So 9-1. The number 9 is HQs on bikes are axed, which we knew was coming.
Yeah, everyone. If you're a Space Marine player, you should have expected this.
Yeah, so they're no longer in the book anywhere.
Yeah, and specifically Wolfguard on bikes. If you were modeling Wolfguard on bikes, if you're working on that right now, you should have known that they were going to get chopped.
You should have definitely known. And
I'm sorry, that sounds rude.
Now that you're right in the middle of it, you need to stop, unless you use the index.
It's the same thing, like obviously no more Iron Priest on bike. In fact, Iron Priest got really limited. We'll go over that shortly after this, so when we get to the nitty-gritty of everything. But yeah, Iron Priest on bike no more, Wolf Priest on bike no more, Wolf Lord on bike doesn't exist, I don't think, either. No, it doesn't. No. It's just the Wolf Lord sheets actually are, you got Wolf Lord and, well, we'll go over it in a minute. But yeah,
so
all the bike guys are gone.
The bike guys are gone.
Bye-bye. Wolf Guards on bike, gone. The only bike guys that are left are Swift Claws.
Yeah.
Those are the bike ones, right? Yeah, those are the bike ones, because it's Sky Claws that have the jump packs.
And number 10, the last one here, the 10 biggest changes is pack leaders do not have access to frost weapons.
This is a nerf.
I.e. Blood Claws, Swift Claws, Sky Claws, Grey Hunters, Wolf Scouts. They don't have access to frost weapons anymore.
I'm not a huge fan of that, and I am sure a lot of you out there listening are not a huge fan of that either. So if you look at the new, this is important to catch because you have to look at the data sheets in the Codex, and it'll say that your pack leaders have access, they can swap out, like it doesn't really, like it's just anything.
Power Sword, Power Axe, Power Fist, you get those, but you don't get the Frost.
Like the Grey Hunter pack leader may take a Chainsword, Power Axe, Power Fist, or Power Sword. They don't swap anything out, they can only take that. The rule was before that they could take any weapon from the Space Wolf melee list.
That's right.
Which included all the frost weaponry.
Yes. But
that is not the case anymore. You have to take lower weapons. Frost weapons are meant for Wolfguard and Thunderwolf Cavalry. And captains and stuff like that.
So it makes them more special.
Yeah.
It makes them more rare.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense. Right. It makes sense narratively.
I agree.
Numbers-wise, it's unfortunate for power gamers, but narrative-wise, it makes perfect sense.
Yep. Only the elite of the elite get access to the frost weaponry.
That's right.
And it's so good, too.
So those are the 10 major changes, and those are the things that we're going to mention. We are now going to go over all the nitty-gritty details. For those of you who wish to not watch the rest of this, but want to jump straight to the battle report of the new Space Wolves, then click on the link below. That will be in the MiniWarGaming vault. That bat rep will be there for you to view and enjoy. Probably I'll be fighting against Steve there because I'm not available to fight against you, or you're not available to fight against me. Either way, the net sum is that we won't be fighting against each other. I don't know if those words combined in that way actually made sense, but
I understood.
Okay,
that's the most important thing about conveying a sentence.
That's actually right. Yeah. Alternatively, I can throw words at you, can organize them, and throw them back to me.
Thank you.
Yes. But anyway, bat rep, link in the description below. If you wish to watch that and not watch the rest of the video, because I'm not sure how long it's going to be. It's going to probably be significantly longer, but we're going to go over all the details now. Right. So, now, flipping over here.
Woo! Boy, do we have a lot.
Okay.
Welcome, painters.
Welcome, painters. All right. Number 1, Terminator heavy weapons. Terminator heavy weapons.
So, Terminator heavy weapons changed up a little bit.
That was like just the first thing that jumped out at us, so we wrote it down.
Yeah, we started at the front of the book and worked our way over. Terminator heavy weapons. The Cyclone missile launcher was moved to the Terminator heavy weapon list.
Yes, it wasn't there in the index. Now it's here in the Codex.
Because what it used to be were Terminators had, they were able to just take a Cyclone missile launcher. It was like 1 in every 5 could take a Terminator heavy weapon or take a Cyclone missile launcher, and they have to give up the Stormbolter. Now they can just swap their Stormbolter out for any heavy weapon, and the heavy weapon here is Cyclone missile launcher and Stormbolter.
Okay.
So they just changed it up. There's going to be a lot of that in this. There's a lot of the wording changing.
There's a lot of tweaking of the wording, which in a lot of cases ends up to be the same result, sometimes slightly different result.
Yeah.
But a lot of wording changes, which is you got to look out for because sometimes it affects the modeling of the characters, the modeling of the models. So number 2. Dreadnought heavy weapon now in the Space Wolves War Gear list.
Yeah,
right now.
so before Dreadnoughts, you'd have to draw from the Imperium and the Space Marine book and all of that. Now they're just all here for access, so that's nice.
Yeah, so very simple.
A lot more consolidated into one codex, which is good for you guys.
So number 3, 6 instead of 3 psychic powers. So we already went over those.
Yeah.
Number 4, chapter rule Hunters Unleashed, which we already went over.
Yep.
Number 5, Logan Grimnar. Okay, let's go to Logan Grimnar.
Let's move to Mr. Grimnar. Right.
So
this was such a minor change.
Yeah. Okay, so power goes from 10 to 9. So it goes. He decreases in power, and his points cost go from 190 to 170.
So he went down 21 points.
Or 230 to 190.
Oh, on his Storm Rider. So essentially, Logan Grimnar dropped a ton of points.
He dropped big time.
Good news for you who run him. Oh, there's a huge change. He's not the chapter master anymore. This is huge. He's the Great Wolf now. Okay. That's what the change was.
That's what the change. Yeah, the wording, but the rule is the exact same.
Yeah. So he's still the chapter master, obviously, and he still rerolls all field hit rolls around him, but it's changed to the Great Wolf.
That's right.
Sorry to get you super excited there.
Yeah. Not really a whole lot, but a little bit. Okay, Wolf Lord on Thunderwolf.
Okay, we gotta.
Actually, you know what? Let's just stick with this.
Yeah.
And.
So Bjorn,
I'll mention it now that I'm here.
Yeah.
His power went from 8 to 7, and his points went from 128 to 118. So he got cheaper.
Yeah, that's all the Wolf Lord got. His loadout's still the same. He can still take from the melee weapon list. All of that. He's just cheaper overall.
Okay, Ragnar Blackmane.
So what did Ragnar get?
Insane bravado changed from heroic intervention 6 inches instead of 3 to increased attacks D3 until the end of the turn.
And that's mostly because obviously all of your Space Wolf characters always heroically intervene 6. So that would have been a redundant rule for him. It would have been no purpose at all. So this gave him D3 extra attacks with Fang. That's his weapon.
Yes.
I don't remember.
It's like, what song is this? Okay, so Svingir and Ulfgir got, let's see, their plus points.
Yeah. So they actually cost points now. I couldn't find in the index where they would have costed points because he always came with his 2 little wolf companions, Svangir and Ulfgir.
Yeah.
And now you just pay 16 points for him and you bring them along. We had to bring both.
16 points.
16 points, yeah.
You probably said that, but it sounded like 60.
Yeah. 1-6.
Yeah.
You may include his 2 little companions. So you can't take one or the other. You just kind of bring both of them for 16 points. They're pretty good. Other than that, though, he hasn't changed.
Yeah, it's pretty similar. All right, Crom, Dragon Gaze, decrease in power, went from 6 to 5, and his points went from 119 to 90.
Okay, good. So that's 39 point change. Wow, he went down a lot in points. That was it, though. He didn't, like, his war gear didn't change, his rules didn't change.
29.
Oh, 29, my bad. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but still, that's a lot.
Yeah, for one character.
Yeah.
If you brought Crom Dragon Gaze, I'll be saying this a lot because there's a lot of point drops across the board. There was like, I think maybe 3 random instances where the points went up overall, including war gear.
That's true. Okay, so Harold Deathwolf.
Mr. Deathwolf. Gotta find him. What did he get?
So he gets +1 attack now. So instead of 4, it's 5.
Yeah. So that's just a random change on the profile. Again, we kind of like went through everything in the Codex and trying to figure all that out. And Mantle of the Troll King got nerfed.
Yeah, so you add 1 to
You read your own.
Okay, so yeah, I'm trying to read my writing. Okay, so before it was adding 1 to the invuln save, so that no longer applies to invuln saves. It's only adding 1 to regular saves.
So Mantle of the Troll King. I know a lot of you out there probably ran Herald Deathwolf because he was great. You put him up front. You had a 2-up invulnerable save against shooting. Now you only get a 2-up armor save against shooting because it doesn't work for a Storm Shield anymore.
Not anymore.
So they clarified it essentially.
Yeah, clarified it to make a change.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different utility for sure.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
What do we have next?
All right, so we got Canis Wolfborn. It is lowered in power. It went from 8 to 7, and his points went from 150 to 125.
Okay, well, that's simple.
Other than that, he's the exact same.
Makes sense.
Rune Priest, he went up in points. He went from 68 to 88. Then that's what happened there.
Why did he go up 20 points? Oh, it wasn't. It was more than that, right? It was because he couldn't take certain weapons anymore. Was it? Or is that no? Not the Wolf Priest, right?
No, that's all we got here. Oh wait, hold on. You're right. He can no longer take items from the Space Wolf's combi weapon list.
So your Wolf Priest out there. This is unfortunate. Can't find him. Anyways, your Wolf Priest could take combi weapons. They swapped out their pistol. Now they can only take plasma pistol. I believe it is. So that's a shame. Oh, there we go. Found it. Woo! So this model may take a power fist, or he may replace his bolt pistol with a plasma pistol. Before it was replaced with a combi weapon or a plasma pistol. No longer. But that is still relevant on the Wolf Priest and Terminator armor, which I believe is next. Or no?
Yeah, probably next, but with the Rune Priest still, it says he knows 2 powers instead of 1 power.
That's right. You mentioned that earlier.
Tempestuous Discipline.
That's why his points went up.
Yeah.
Because he knows an extra power. Is it worth 20 points?
That remains to be seen.
I don't know what the point value of a new psychic power is, but he could always cast 2, but now he knows 2.
That's right.
Which is nice.
Yeah. Okay, 15.
In addition to Smite.
Now includes Primaris Rune Priest, so that's included in the Codex here.
Essentially, the entire Primaris line is included inside of this Codex.
That's right.
Granted, the Wolf Priest, instead of like Primaris Librarian, it's a Primaris Wolf Priest and Rune Priest and all of that.
So that's good. So whenever it goes there, we'll just know that that's what it is.
Yeah.
So there's no more Rune Priest on bike in the Codex.
Right.
And that goes with the no bikes.
In general. You can still use the index one.
Yes.
But not for long.
Right.
Well, maybe long. I don't know. It depends on how long the edition lasts.
Probably, you probably see less on the table now that the Codex is out.
Right.
That's my guess. So Rune Priest in Terminator armor is only used with Runic Axe and no Storm Bolter.
Oh yeah, Rune Priest in Terminator armor?
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, so the big change here.
Bolter.
Yeah, he can only take a Runic Axe. He's only armed with the Runic Axe. He doesn't come with a Storm Bolter. You can pay for the Storm Bolter.
You can pay for it.
Because it's part of the Terminator combi weapon list, but the stock Rune Priest, you don't have to pay for the Storm Bolter anymore. So by default, he is 2 points cheaper.
I guess that's true, right? All right. Yeah, but it says he can include Storm Bolter, which is from the list. That was actually the next one. So the one after that, number 19, is Crux Terminatus, Consolidated Runic Terminator armor to say it has a 4-up invuln save.
Right. So if you're the Rune Priest and Terminator armor used to be able to get Runic Terminator armor, but now and there's a separate rule for that, but now it's just consolidated into one rule called Crux Terminatus. It just says if he has Rune Terminator armor, this is a 4-up instead of a 5-up.
That's right. Also, he knows 2 powers from the Tempestuous Discipline.
Yeah. He is a Rune Priest.
21, Niall Stormcaller in Runic Terminator armor. 167 points down to 153 points.
Congratulations. He went down, was that 14 points? Yep.
Yes.
Does power level go down at all? Same power level?
Yeah, it looks like the same power level.
Yeah.
22, Wolf Priest went from 90 points to 75 points.
Yep.
No more combi weapon list options.
Yes, it kind of goes until with the Rune Priest, you used to be able to swap out for a combi weapon. No longer. You take a plasma pistol. Or you can also take a power fist.
That's right. Model may take a power fist.
Yep. Sorry, I was looking at the Wolf Priest earlier. The Rune Priest cannot take a power fist. He just can't take combi weapons. He take a plasma pistol and that is it. I had mentioned power fist earlier, but I was talking about the Wolf Priest.
That's right. Yeah.
But yeah, the Wolf Priest takes a power fist or a plasma pistol now. That is his loadout.
And the Primaris Wolf Priest is now a unit. It's now a data sheet.
Yep.
It's included in the Codex.
Which is the Primaris, if you want to convert up a Primaris, what are they called? A Chaplain. That's the equivalent. Then you can make a Wolf Priest out of it.
Wolf Priest on a bike is taken out.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, no longer in. Number 27, Wolf Priest in Terminator armor. So the power went down, went from 8 to 6, and the points went from 144 to 105.
Wow! 39, wait. Yeah, 39 points?
Yeah. Actually, in that case, it's 39 points.
Wow.
That's a big deal.
I forgot how steep that was. That's steep. Okay, wow.
It seems like Terminators in general
Are getting cheaper.
In this Codex here.
Specifically characters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Terminators also went down in points. Yeah.
Speaking of characters, number 28 here is Ulrich the Slayer. Went from 133 points to 110 points. 7 power to 6 power. So
that's pretty much it. Yeah, just the cheaper work. All his other rules are the exact same.
Everything's the same.
Profile is the exact same.
Number 29, Wolfguard Battle Leader went from 5 power to 4 power.
Yep.
And his attacks went down from 4 to 3.
And this is you're gonna see this across the board for all the Wolfguard variants. So you have your Wolfguard in Terminator armor, you have it on Thunderwolf, and you have your not the Primaris Battle Leader. He actually has 4 attacks. But all your Wolfguard Battle Leaders lost an attack for whatever reason. I guess they had at 4 attacks. That seemed a little high for a support character. So I guess they just kind of kept it in tow. You know,
I didn't mind, but
yeah,
they know best.
Did they do? Games Workshop knows best.
Well, they have just hordes of people working on
like
trying to balance it as best they can. So
well, yeah, because they came out with the Primaris Battle Leader, and I'm pretty sure the lieutenants have 4 attacks. So it'd be weird if the normal Space Wolf Battle Leader had 4 attacks, the same as the Primaris. Primaris always have 1 more attack. Yeah. So it would be weird for the Space Wolf Primaris Lieutenant to have 1 more attack than the rest of the lieutenants.
Right.
So they're trying to keep all the Primaris the same across the board. They don't want any Primaris to be strictly better for a certain chapter.
Yeah. So that makes sense then. Okay, so... And then also he must replace his chainsword for a storm shield, whereas before he didn't have to.
Yeah, it's just... that's going to be... You're going to see that across the line for all the Wolfguard. We'll mention it, but... slight changes in how they swap out their equipment. In the end, whatever loadout you want kind of works out to be the same, but you often see like whatever melee weapon they come out with, they have to swap that out for the storm shield instead of the pistol they had before, and then they can swap their pistol out for any melee weapon they want.
That's right.
For whatever reason, I don't know. Maybe it just clarifies the wording, make it more clear. I'm pretty sure they covered some of that in the FAQ as well.
So 32, Wolfguard Battle Leader on bike is no longer. He's taken out. He's axed. 33, Wolfguard Battle Leader in Terminator armor went from 92 points to 91 points.
Right, we discussed this. That was a huge change. It was actually, we were probably on that for 45 minutes talking about that 1 point change.
At least,
yeah. The Wolfguard Battle. Why 1 point? Why?
You gotta wonder if it was like, oh, how many points did you get? It was 92. Oh, 91? Okay. Why? Like, that's probably... It's so why? Wwhy even make the change?
It's got to be like what I said. They're trying to lower the points in Terminators, and they're like, well, what's the point cost on Wolfguard Battle Leader in Terminator? 92. That's pretty good. But he's in Terminator. We got to lower it. 91. Gotta be. That has to be it.
It has to be an inside joke. It's gotta be. It's the only way that makes sense because it doesn't. Oh, and he only has 3 attacks instead of 4.
Right.
So that went down 3.
Again, all the battle leaders losing an attack.
Okay, and he has to give up a storm shield, a power sword for his storm shield. But he can replace the Stormbolter with
a power sword,
melee weapons.
Yeah.
So it's
the
wording.
Yeah, it's them giving up their weapon for a storm shield and then giving up their ranged weapon for a melee weapon.
That's right.
So it's weird loadouts. But that's the idea of Wolfguard, right? They have all these weird loadouts.
All right, number 36, Wolfguard Battle Leader on Thunderwolf went from 97 points to 104 points.
So he actually went up.
Increased, yeah.
For whatever reason, and he also lost an attack. I guess.
Yes, went from 4 to 3 attacks.
Yeah.
He went down. And let's see, same weapon options.
Yeah, same changes and all that.
Changes, yeah. Number 38 there. So number 39, Bjorn Fell-Handed Power went from 14 to 12 and 210 points to 180.
Yes.
So he dropped 30 points.
Yep. Good for Bjorn because he was a character. He was hard to kill, but he was also really pricey. So for all those players out there, and specifically he who out there plays only dreadnoughts, I can't remember your name. I do apologize, but he had Bjorn the Fell-Handed in his army. And it was an entire army of only dreadnoughts.
Spaceballs army?
No, just dreadnoughts, just Imperium.
Just Imperium.
It was just Imperium dreadnoughts.
That would actually be pretty awesome.
It was. That was an amazing game.
Yeah, that'd be super fun. I would really enjoy that. Explode is now in the profile.
Yep. So I can't remember if they FAQ'd Bjorn to explode, but he didn't explode in the Imperium data sheet. But now he does. So I often wonder if it was because like he's Bjorn. He doesn't blow up. He doesn't die, right? Yeah. Now he can blow up.
But now he can blow up, if he didn't before.
Woo!
All right, 41. Lucas the Trickster, 118 points to 110, so he dropped a little bit there. And that's it. Other than that, he's the same.
He's just a slightly cheaper elite. He's still not an HQ, which is fine. He can't be your Warlord. That's what it was. They actually simplified that Lucas the Trickster cannot be your warlord.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Master of Mischief. In addition, Lucas cannot be Warlord. That's right.
But you could before, but now no longer. So if you had a Lucas the Trickster Bloodclaw list, you have to have another HQ, I'm sorry.
That's right. So 42, a Bloodclaw's hero, instead of hit rolls of 1, it's now wound rolls of 1 for friendly Bloodclaws within 6 inches of him.
Yeah. So his little rule changed for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Like I don't see any like that's a little bit more powerful, I think, because they're hitting on 2s when they charge.
You're right. So maybe that's it, just to eliminate redundancy. So it actually makes it so it's better for him.
It's a little bit better than 2s rolling 1s. There might not be many 1s. But yeah, anyways.
All right, 44. Aryak Rockfist is now moved to the HQ section and properly organized.
Woo!
So before it was just like randomly thrown into the index.
I think he was beside all the Wolfguard because he is Wolfguard.
Right.
He's a named Wolfguard, but he should be with the HQs because he's an HQ.
Right, and now he is.
Now he's properly organized, so you don't have to flip randomly through the book to find the elite section just to find Aryak. He is right here for you.
And his points increase from 140 to 145.
I wonder what the thought process behind that is.
Well, he's now an HQ. He's now worth more. So.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Actually,
no, he always was an HQ, but like now he's in this section where.
Maybe the Thunder Hammer changed a little bit for him. Not Thunder, sorry, is the Storm Shield, because I know the Storm Shield points changed a little bit. So we'll get to that later on. I'll scope it out and try and figure out why he went up 5 points.
45, Primaris Battle Leader now added, which, again, Primaris added. So 46, Wolflord now has its own profile in the Codex.
Woo!
And in the index, it was not included. It said that just use the captain profile.
Yeah.
Or the captain data sheet.
Yep. Now you have 5 Wolflord profiles.
That's true. That's
you
true.
have normal Wolflord, you have your Wolflord on Thunderwolf, which you always had. You have your Wolflord in Terminator armor, you have your Wolflord in Cataphractii armor, and then you have Primaris Wolflord and Wolflord in Gravis armor.
That's right.
So that's your 2 Primaris loadouts and your other 4. That's actually 6 in total. So you have 5 new ones and 6 in total. And the Wolflord can take, Space Wolf stuff.
You can. Yeah. So that actually covers all the rest going down here. So number 51, Iron Priest, power from 6 to 5, and 58 points to 45 points. So he dropped 13 points.
Yeah, and for whatever reason, his he can't have a jump pack anymore.
Right, and his locked-in war gear consists of the Tempest Hammer and Hellfrost Pistol.
Because before you had, I think it was a Thunder Hammer, or you had options before.
You can replace weapons.
No war gear
with
options
these.
anymore.
Now there's no more. Now he automatically has these. They're locked in.
That's probably because of the only cast they have of him anymore that they sell is with that loadout.
Yeah.
So he's got the Hellfrost Pistol and the Tempest Hammer, and that's it. You don't have to convert your models anymore. But he can't be on bike anymore, and he can't have a jump pack anymore either.
Right.
So which is a weird little change. But I mean, I'm trying to think of a tech. He's a tech marine.
Yeah.
That's all he is.
Right.
I can't. Like, why would a tech marine have a jump pack? He's just kind of keeping in tow with the rest of the tech marines.
That's right. Iron Priest on bike has been thrown out.
Yeah.
Iron Priest on Thunderwolf also thrown out.
He was on Thunderwolf?
Apparently he was.
Awful. Good riddance.
Okay. 54, Blood Claws. So it was 5 to 16 per unit. Now it's 5 to 15 per unit.
Which I always found weird, but whatever. Clarifies 5 to 15. That doesn't account for your. I don't think it accounts for your Wolfguard because you can go 5 to 15 Blood Claws and still have a Wolfguard in there. I'm pretty sure that's how it works because it says you can have 5 to 15 Blood Claws in the unit, and then you can just add your Wolfguards to it without going over the cap. I don't know why it was 5 to 16 before. Could have been a typo. Could have just been because they felt like it.
Yeah.
Or
maybe it was replace 1 with, or no, it wasn't add.
Yeah.
Was it add 1 or was it replace 1?
It was add.
So it was add. So it is odd. So that they just reduced it by 1. That's all they did. All right. So 55 power. Power when adding more changes. So 5 additional power, 4 plus 2 power. I'm trying to read my own writing.
So when you add 5 more models, it's power 3 instead of 4.
That's right. Okay. And then when adding 10 more, it's power 6 instead of 8.
Yeah. So if you play power level, you're going to see a lot of power level changes for the greater because these are only Space Marines. They shouldn't be this expensive.
Right. And also the mixed unit rule has been added to the data sheet.
So this clarifies that they get the Terminator keyword if they have a Wolfguard pack leader in Terminator armor.
Yeah. So obviously you can't travel in Rhinos if that's the case.
Right.
57, Grey Hunters. So power went from 6 to 4 and 14 points a model down to 13 points a model.
Cheaper Grey Hunters.
And a Wolfguard pack leader in Terminator armor went from 31 points to 26 points per model.
Yeah, so that's what when we get to the Terminators, that's where I mentioned Terminators are overall cheaper. It's 26 points for a Wolfguard Terminator now instead of 31, which is wonderful. Everyone wants to see that. Specifically, I love Wolfguard Terminators.
And when adding more models, the power changed there. So instead of 5 power, it's 4 power when you add an additional 5 models.
Right.
Yeah,
So
it's a little bit cheaper.
Your squad of 10 is only 8 power level instead of like 10. Or actually, wow, it's like, I think it went down from like 12 power level to 8. That's really good.
For the
Grey Hunters, like the
that's right,
intercessors, yeah.
All right, so the models per unit changed. It went from 5 to 11 to 5 to 10 also.
Yeah, just clarifying that they only go to 10 instead of 11.
And they also get the mixed unit rule.
Exactly. If they have a Wolfguard,
They haven't added to their data slate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I mean, that's kind of it would have been the case before.
Yeah.
Now it's just simply added so that there's no confusion.
Yeah. People. Yeah, because it's weird. Because you look at the Rhinos, it says they can't have Terminators. So there were a few people that thought they put the Wolfguard Terminators and Grey Hunter units into Rhinos. That's just not the case. Now they clarified it.
Now they clarified, yeah.
So it was kind of obvious before you couldn't do it, but some people weren't too sure.
Yeah.
So shame on you for now you know.
So 61 intercessors are added to the army.
Welcome Primaris.
That's right. 62 Wolf Scouts.
Boo.
So 5 to 11 per unit changed to 5 to 10 per unit.
Just again, kind of keeping it all in line.
Okay, war gear of 1 Wolf Scout may replace his bolt gun with an item from the Space Wolf melee weapons list has been changed to Power Axe or Power Sword.
Yep. That's the pack leader, again, cannot take frost weapons.
That's right.
Or lightning claws, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It can only take the 3 power weapons.
And then, yeah,
It
exactly.
can't even take a power axe. It can only take power sword. Oh no, so it can take a power axe. It can't take power maul, I guess.
Right, because it specifies.
Yeah.
All right, so added Reavers to the Codex.
Yep.
Yeah.
Welcome Reavers.
Added Aggressors to the
Aggressors
Codex.
and then Servitors.
Included in the Codex now and is organized.
Yeah, you could take again, this is like everything from the Imperium Index. If you're new to this edition, if you played in the previous editions, like you'd have servitors before, but now it's just consolidated.
That's right. And you could choose them before, but it just said you would have to refer to the data sheets in the previous section in the index. But now it's nice here. It's included. It's organized nicely. So let's see here. 68 Wolf and Dreadnought is a new unit. Again, we will mention that we will make a separate video for that.
Yep. That is done there.
All right, Murder Fang. So instead of 10 power, he's 9 power, went down in power, and instead of 200 points, he's 170 points.
He went down 30 points. All right, so Murder Fang is the named Wolf and Dreadnought character, and that's I'm assuming the Wolf and Dreadnought is based solely around.
Yeah, that'd be my guess as well. And so he is the same, with the exception of Murder Lust.
Got a lot better.
It got better because before it says you can reroll failed charge rolls, and now it says that. In addition, a turn in which he makes successful charge, he can increase his attacks by 2.
So it's straight. So he went down 30 points and got a hard buff on Murder Lust.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's got 7 attacks on the charge. 7 attacks on the charge.
And he can't be the Warlord though.
Right.
That's
a new force. That's a new rule for him. Force of Untamed Destruction.
That's right.
He cannot lead an army. He's only there to kill.
Also, explodes is also added to his data sheet.
He didn't explode before?
It didn't say it on his data sheet before.
Oh, now he does.
Now
An oversight, I assume.
So, 73. Great Company Ancient now added to the Codex.
Boop. So, I'm not familiar with Space Wolves in previous editions or earlier on, but did they have Ancients? Did they have the Banner Bearer guys? Do you have any Ancients?
Here's the thing. If it did exist, I never brought them.
Okay.
Which means it either didn't exist or it did exist and I never brought them, so I don't recall.
So I don't know myself because I'm new to Space Wolves in this edition. But the Great Company Ancient is a nice welcome addition because that is a good support character, specifically with like Long Fangs, right? So you put him beside Long Fangs, your Long Fang dies. On a 4-up, your Long Fang shoots before it dies. It's always good.
Yeah.
He's cheap, he's effective. And we have the Primaris Ancient added as well.
Yeah, he's added to the Codex, which was the next one.
And then we have the Mysterious Great Company Champion that we mentioned earlier.
We also mentioned that, yeah. So 75, Lone Wolf is not included in the Codex, has its own profile. But stratagem, which we already went over that.
Yeah.
Lone Wolf and Terminator armor is also taken out.
Sad.
77, Great Company Champion added to the Codex, which you just mentioned, right?
Not too sure how to use him yet, but we'll figure out something for him.
78, Wolfguard. So
cheaper.
They went from 9 to 8 power and from 16 to 15 points a model.
Yeah.
5 additional costs is 8 power instead of 9.
Yeah.
And if he wants a combi weapon, he gives up his bolt gun.
Yeah.
That's
So just a little bit change on how he swaps up his weapons, but in the end, you can still get your combi plasma, storm shields, and jump packs. That hasn't changed.
That's right. Wolfguard on bikes has been taken out of the Codex.
Goodbye. Now, the only time you'll be able to use a Wolfguard on bike is when you bring Swift Claws and you bring a Wolfguard pack leader on bike. Mm-hmm. That's the only time you'll have a Wolfguard on bike in this new Codex.
That
true. Lives on.
That's true. So you can still utilize those models if you've done it. Let's see. Wolfguard Terminators, instead of 15, is 13 power, and 31 goes down to 26 points per model.
Yep. So with a Storm Shield, they're only 31 points.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah, that's right. And for an additional 5 Terminators, instead of 5 power, it's 3 power to add that. And you can now, let's see, can now include Storm Bolter and Storm Shield, whereas before you had to replace the Storm Bolter with the Storm Shield.
Yep, again, it's just the whole swapping of weapons.
Let's see, 85 Wolfguard Cataphractii Terminators added to the Codex.
Yep, so these are, essentially if you bought the Betrayal Calth box, and all the models in that Betrayal Calth box have been added to like all the codexes across the board.
Yeah.
So if you want Wolfguard Cataphractii Terminators, you can use those ones from Calth. I do believe the Wolfguard Terminators are better because they have way more options. These ones have locked options because those Cataphractii Terminators only have so many weapons.
Yeah.
So you can't take Storm Shields on them. You can't do anything like that.
It's nice though. It just means you can utilize them as part of your army.
Exactly.
It's organized nicely in the Codex.
You have the models already. Here's rules to use them in your army.
That's right. 86 Wolfguard Tartarus Terminators now included in
same idea.
The exact same thing.
They have a more chaos. If you're familiar with chaos, they have that kind of loadout they do, where they have the combi bolters that can go to combi weapons and a large assortment of weapons. But Space Wolves already have that.
So 87, the Dreadnought has his own profile.
Boop.
So just a straight up Dreadnought.
Yep.
And he can take the Great Wolf Claw.
Yep, you can take the claw, but it's expensive now. It's
Yeah.
like 40 points now.
It is expensive. So 88 Venerable Dreadnought is now included in the Codex.
Yep.
Wasn't before. And Fenrisian Great Axe went from 40 points to 50 points, so that was increased. Blizzard Shield got nerfed. It's now a 4-up invuln save instead of a 3-up invuln save.
This is a nerf near and dear to my heart. I was a huge fan of the Sidley box that ran around crashing through ruins with a big axe and shield. I love that vision more than anything in this game.
That was sweet.
And now he's not nearly as durable.
Not nearly.
But I'll still run him because I love him that much.
Of course. It is a bit of a change. It's actually that much of a change that makes it so he'll die that much more often.
Yeah, he'll die a lot.
Yeah, he will.
He really banks on that 3-up invulnerable save. That's like his one trick he's got going for him.
Pretty much. That's what made him super, super special. Now he's not as special. He's still special.
He's still special.
He's not as special.
Because he's still a box that runs around with an action shield.
That's right.
He's the Wolfguard that refused to let go of his weapons.
Number 89, Contemptor Dread is now in the Codex.
Again, from the Calth box, you get your static Contemptor Dreadnought. Redemptor as well.
90, that was number 90. So 91, the Wolfen, instead of, okay, this is a big deal.
Yeah.
So instead of 13 points, it's 11, or power. Instead of 13 power, it's 11 power. And instead of 37 points, it's 28 points per model.
9 points less a model. When you're bringing 10, sometimes 20, that's 90 to 180 points you save. Mm-hmm. All their war gear is the same.
Yeah.
Like their Frost Claws, their Great Axes.
The cost of it is the same.
Yeah, the Thunderhammer Storm Shields, all the same.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, I think what Bounding Lope changed. They can still advance and charge, but they can't reroll failed advance rolls. That got moved over to Curse of the Wolf and Hunt, which they can benefit from now. So right. Curse of the Wolf and Hunt gave everything rerolling rerollable charges within 6 inches, 12 for Blood Claws. Sorry, previously it said Wolfen couldn't benefit from this, but now it says, no, it doesn't say that, so they do benefit from it.
That's right.
But over to Curse of the Wolf and Kill, they still do not benefit from that.
Correct. That's correct.
So that's the major changes. The biggest one, obviously, being the Wolfen point cost reduction. I'm a little biased. I love the Wolfen. I assume you love Wolfen too.
Oh, of course, yeah. That's why I have the amount that I have.
They have amazing rules. They work just as well on the field as they do on paper. They're always reliable because of Death Frenzy. I am happy to see their point cost go down. This is the one thing I expected in the Codex, and I'm happy that I didn't expect 9 points, though. I expected like 5. 9 is a lot.
Yeah, 9 is a lot for sure. But they were super expensive before.
They were way overcosted.
But they did devastating damage.
Yes.
Which felt okay.
But now you can bring 20 of them and still have another Grey Hunter squad.
That's true.
That's how much their points went down.
it's a huge difference. It's absolutely huge.
And that's like a fully equipped Grey Hunter squad too, with like a Wolfguard pack leader and everything. Like that's insane.
That's right.
Oh, I'm giddy.
Okay, so 95 is Sky Claws can only be upgraded with Power Axe, Power Sword, and Power Fist.
Yes, that's the pack leader. Cannot take the
Frost weapons.
Right.
Swift Claws, 6 power down to 4 power, and 31 points goes down to 23 points per model.
Yes.
Wow.
8-point reduction.
And for the attack bike, it's 45 points down to 35 points.
So this actually might make Swift Claws more playable. They were way overcosted before. Now they're reasonable, and I could reasonably see Swift Claws on the field. They do have the Blood Claw keyword, so they work well with Wolfen. Wolfen. Wolfen.
Awesome.
They work well with Wolfen. So the Swift Claws and the Sky Claws are all Blood Claws, so you can make a pretty reasonably costed Blood Claw, Swift Claw, Sky Claw, Wolfen list. Wolfen. Wolfen.
I love it. All right. In the power changes, let's see here. Yeah, so instead of 5 power, it's 4 power for an additional 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it goes from 7 into 6. No, sorry. Additional 7 is 6 power instead of 8. So Swift Claws, the unit itself, instead of 3 to 11 per unit, it's now 3 to 9 per unit.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to talk about that
But
too.
in the data sheet, it says you can have 12 additional.
Yeah, so it comes with the pack leader and 2 Swift Claws.
Yes.
It can include up to 3 additional Swift Claws, 6 additional Swift Claws, 9 additional Swift Claws, so you're already at 12, and then you can include up to 12 additional Swift Claws for 15 Swift Claws, and then you can add a Swift Claw attack bike, and you could add a Wolfguard bike as well.
That doesn't make it a sense.
So you can have a squad of 17 bikes, but it says on the back that they can only go up to 9.
So how does that make it? It doesn't make sense.
I'm going to play it that they go up to 17. And I'm not going to let you or anyone out there tell me otherwise. Unless it gets FAQ'd, then I'll have to listen to that.
Interesting.
Yes, up to 12 additional bikes.
Or up to 12 additional Swift Claws. Yeah, that's really weird.
It was just an odd little thing we noticed when we were looking through the Codex.
Yeah.
That's a lot of bikes. Do we even have that many Swift? Yeah,
We do. I think there's 20.
Okay, well, that's, yeah.
I think, at least.
I'm gonna try them out at their lower point cost to see if they're worth it. They might be. They might be with Wolfen, of course, with Wolfen. Wolfen.
All right. What do we have? Let's see. Okay. So pack leader cannot take Frost Claws. We knew that. Okay. So land speeder now included in the Codex.
Oh, welcome.
Yeah. Welcome to the Codex.
And scepters thrown in there.
Yeah. Thunderwolf Cavalry is instead of 45 points, it's 40 points per model. Fenrisian Wolves, their points went from 9 to 8, so a tiny bit cheaper.
Yep.
Cyber Wolf leadership is 6 instead of 4.
Huge, right?
So it went up in leadership a little bit.
For all of you bringing units of multiple Cyber Wolves, your leadership went up by 2.
That's right.
So I'm pretty sure everyone was running the squads of 1 Cyber Wolf because they're great at grabbing objectives. They're super fast.
Yeah, it's probably most likely.
And very cheap at 15 points a model.
Wolf Scout Bikers now in the Codex.
Yep, so these are your Scout Bikers like all the other chapters have.
But they were not in the index before.
They were not, no.
Wolf Scout Bikers.
So no one actually used them. Now you can actually use Wolf Scout Bikers.
Yeah. So Long Fangs.
Same rules.
They went from 7 to 8 power, so they increased in power, but they went down in points from 15 to 14.
Yep, so the increase in power, to my only guess, is because they can take so many heavy weapons. So the 8 power kind of balances out the fact that they can have an entire squad of 7 weapons. Or, sorry, 6, because it's like you can have 5, include 1 additional Long Fang. Yeah. Yeah, you can have 5 Long Fangs. 6 Long Fangs, sorry. I don't know why you can have 6, that's so weird. Check the back, because the back's weird. What do you got here for me, back? Long Fangs. You can have 5 to 6 Long Fangs, yep. Interesting.
Well, that's good, because you can have more weapons.
Yep. Or you can just have an extra wound.
That's true.
In case you can't afford the extra weapon, you can at least afford the extra wound. A Blade of Wounds is always nice. Is that the only change for Long Fangs?
That's, Long Fangs.
5 to 7 per unit. Instead of 5 to 6. That's right. Because
it decreased to 5 to 6.
Yeah, because it's just clarifying that Wolfguard can actually just join the unit willy nilly. All that.
And then also the Long Fang pack leader can only upgrade to Power Fists or Power Axe, Power Sword. Yeah. Also has mixed units rules.
Yep.
Mixed units.
If you throw a Terminator in there. And we got Hellblasters. So these are all the units that were added to the Codex. that they would have had access to before with Hellblasters, Hunter, Stalker, Whirlwind, Predator tanks, Vindicator, Land Raider Crusader, Land Raider Redeemer, Rhino, Razorback, Drop Pod, Landspeeder Storm, which is the Wolf Scout transport, the Repulsor, which is the Primaris transport, and of course the Stormhawk Interceptors in addition. Now we have the Stormfang gunship and the Storm Wolf. I think the changes here were points mostly.
All right, so Stormfang gunship, we'll start with that one. It's from 14 to 15 power, so that increased.
Yeah.
And the points also increased from 155 to 175.
Now, okay, it went up 20 points, but get this. The Hellfrost Destructor went from 50 points to 0.
There you go.
Yeah, so it actually went down 30 points if you bring the Stormfang gunship.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, that's pretty much it. The Storm Wolf changed, I think, in points as well.
Yeah, from 14 to 16 power.
And that was it.
That's it.
The points stayed the same, other than like the weapon. Yeah, no, just the power went up. The points stayed the same though.
Yeah.
And that's it for all the minor changes. Oh wait, no, there's war gear. Right, war gear.
Yeah, let's go to war gear. That's the last thing. So we didn't actually number the war gear changes. These are just.
But we have them right here.
We do have them listed here.
So the Great Axe we mentioned went up to 50 points from 40.
So yeah, so it went down from 50 to 40.
Yeah. The Great Wolf Claw went from 40 to 45 points from 25.
So you're okay. So these are the old points, actually.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so these are the old. So it went, okay, let's start over.
Up
so
to 50 on the Great Axe.
Fenris, yeah, so that increased by 10
points.
The Great Wolf Claw was 25, went up to 45.
So that went up 20 points as well.
Yeah. Runic Axe was 16, is now 12.
Yep.
Runic Stave was 14, now 10. And Runic Sword was 12, now 10.
So they all went down, right? Yeah, they all went down just a little bit.
They all went down, yeah.
Yeah.
So the Wolf Claw, single pair, was 9/13, is now 10/14.
So they also went up 1 point.
They went up one, yeah.
I wonder why. And then that should be it. Oh, no, there's another page, I think. Yep.
Yeah, a couple changes there.
The Hellfrost Destructor, which is the Storm Fang gunship, went down to 0 points from 50. And the Hellfrost Pistol, for whatever reason, went to 4 points from 15.
Yeah.
So it went down 11 points, but I think only the I guess more than the Iron Priest could take it. But his gun is cheaper now. The Psychic Hood went down 21 points. It was 26, now it is simply 5. And Storm Shield on Thunderwolf Cavalry went down 5 points as well. So the Thunderwolf Cavalry went down in points themselves, and then their equipment, if you're going to bring a Storm Shield, which most people often do, also went down.
It did.
And that is pretty much all the little tiny minor changes. That should be, I don't think, okay, there's no way we could have missed too much because we literally went word for word through this codex.
We did. So if there are things that we missed, they were very minor.
It could, yeah, or something that we just kind of glazed over through the process.
Something that was inconsequential to the overall feel and performance of the army. So I don't think that it matters too much.
That should be all the changes to the Space Wolf Codex. All the changes and additions.
That's right. And so that is the review / discussion / overview of the new Space Wolves Codex. Vault members, stay tuned for the battle report. That will be viewable by clicking on the link in the video description below. If you are not a Vault member, we invite you guys to click on that link below, sign up for a 7-day free trial to the MiniWarGaming Vault, so that you can see that video, see this new Space Wolves battle report, as well as all of the other battle reports that are in the MiniWarGaming Vault. The Vault is how we support ourselves as a business.
That's how I stay fed.
We wouldn't make videos were it not for the support of Vault members. That is the truth. We wouldn't exist as a business. So thank you very much, Vault members, for supporting us. And we shall see you there. Happy wargaming.
Happy wargaming, everyone. Have a good night.